There you go.
A 4-ship. Max a little behind, but it's fine.
Yeah, he had comms issues at the
Okay.
beginning, so we didn't know if he was actually around or if it was an AI or something.
To be fair, in light of how fast you need to be up in the air with the current situation, I think 4 ships is perfectly reasonable.
God, it was a busy. What a busy takeoff.
Yeah, but you know what? You guys got up, and you got up in order as well. That's a decent work.
Yeah, that was a nice job. Last time we did something like this, we were all over each other.
This is
It
Rabbit.
really just it's down to the flight leads. If they communicate properly on tower frequency, and once they get like start taxiing and stuff, then it works. And also, this time we didn't have technical stuff while we were trying to taxi and take off,
Yeah,
so that
that
we
helps.
had no real delays.
This is Rabbit. I missed the taxi call, and somebody had to pull out of the way for me to get by. I appreciate whoever that was.
Yeah, Domestos. Oh, sorry. All right. So anyway, taking off. Let me just back up, make sure. Okay, so from my point of view, we take
Wait,
off.
I didn't get the Acme.
Oh, geez. Okay. Let's wait for it before we start.
That's okay. I mean, if you don't want to mess around with the Acme file, I'm currently live streaming the event right now, and the lag isn't
Alright,
terrible.
I'll just watch the live stream.
Yep. Deadman, it's in the chat. Just my website, youtube.com/ghostdog688/live.
Okay. Okay, so start. So we take off immediately. We're still actually climbing here, Vincent Point, and just as we're reaching cruise altitude, we're fencing in. I'm already seeing targets, like Vincent, and we have targets. So that was cool. Like getting in action right away before we even set up a patrol pattern. So we immediately get down to business. Start our attack onto the H-64s. We check around. This is actually our flot. The flot that I marked extended like this far, so we knew no enemy battalions were up to here. So we knew we could push out like all the way out here. Needed to be below hard deck to get just clean kills on these guys. So we pushed in. They pretty much just about landed almost. I hit a nine mic on one of them. It explodes, but it doesn't kill the guy.
Oh wow.
And immediately I do. Let me go to this is real time now. Immediately point the left guy, get a guns kill, pull up. The guy from the 9 mic does explode. Nighthawk comes in for the guy on the right and gets a guns kill. And so that was like I figured like a good start to the mission here. And probably pop
Were
the
they
flares out just
hovering?
in case. Yeah, they're hovering like 5 feet. It was
Ah,
really
okay.
low. So I
User
thought the
joined your
9 mic
channel.
may have like missed
I've
or something
actually got
happened.
a punch out, boys. I'll see you.
You take care.
Bye bye.
No problem there, man. They'll be this will be on the recording anyway, so you can catch it later if you need to.
Alright.
So we start searching for more
User
targets,
disconnected from
getting
your channel.
climbing back up to altitude, and then we get a bullseye call out to sea. Bullseye call out to sea, and we're looking for him. You can kind of see me twisting. I know I'm still within friendly territory, so I break the hard deck, and I'm getting calls from Gunner saying, "Hey, we're looking for this guy too." And I was like, "Yeah, we're already at the sea. We're looking for him as well. We see him. I call it out that we're engaging the bandits, and I'll take one, and the wingman takes the other. I think these are gun kills. I think he maybe shot a missile at one of them though, but I get a gun kill, and Nighthawk comes in for a missile shot. And those are the special forces that probably were trying to get, like over here somewhere.
Oh, it was good. That was a good call on the missile. Nighthawk waiting for him to break off like that.
Yep. So then we get back to our patrol area. We call out to Lobo that hey, they're dead. We caught them like 10 miles out to sea. So moving on. already bombs being dropped off from Dark's fight, which is Baki's fight. Whose fight
Yeah,
is
it's
this?
Nero. Nero.
Okay. So you guys are already getting to work. Baki does some crazy shit here, and I guess he just goes in JDM mode and
Yep.
lobs them. He sees that they're not moving. This was a great decision to hit them when they're not moving like that, when without the lasing. Anyway, back to
Damn, target-rich environment.
yeah. Look. This is crazy. And look at all these targets, man. This is nuts. All these targets. Like, we could honestly do this mission again and still have targets up. Moving on, Lobo Flight engages with AMRAMs on them, and I was kind of, when I heard the AMRAM call, like the Fox 3 call, I kind of cringed because when let's say we break hard deck to get a gun skill to save heaters, if we see like an opportunity to break the hard deck and go for a gun skill, and if another flight's coming in that doesn't see us and we don't see them and they Fox 3, you have a potential of a fratricide. So when I heard that Fox 3, I kind of cringed. I said something real quick. Hey, try to avoid using Fox 3s on helos that we can just hit them with a heater. So this guy gets through, and so we're gonna come back to him later. I get another 2 kills on these guys. I check the area first. I'm like, all right. I see battalions up to my right. Nighthawk calls, hey, there's battalions to your right. Like, yeah, I see them off to the right, but I don't see anything in front of me. I say, all right, I'm just gonna go for the kill here and break the hard deck. And I think I missile 1, missile 2, and that's it. Nighthawk goes in for his kills and gets those. And there, another MI8 with probably some special forces on it. Good decision, Gunner, going for the AMRAM shot instead of diving with all these battalions around. It was really smart. That's when you want to use the Fox 3. This is fucking dangerous. So that was... Careful with that one, DMF. Yeah. You want to use if we're just helo hunting with no enemy air threats, save the AMRAMs for a possible like repels coming in. Or if you see a helo and you don't want to wait for them to get out of the battalion ranges, out of their AAA or out of their SHORAD. This was a really bad decision to lob a AMRAM like that. But he just left, so I can't really criticize him for that.
Well, that's why I record these, so that people who miss can catch it.
Okay, so yeah, be aware that AMRAMs are dangerous to basically anything in a cone in front of you. What the fuck? Anything in a cone in front of you. There goes T-Rack.
Yeah.
I must go, my people need me. Zoom.
So that's about it for the helos, and we do get a few more helo kills. I just want to fast forward to kind of what happened here. We see a C-130, and I'm diving in for the kill, and I'm thinking. Let me back it up. So what I'm thinking here is that, hey, I want to get that helo kill, and then I lob on it, and then I actually see a helo that I go for instead that was closer. So I figured I get a Fox 3 shot. I'm really high altitude. I get a Fox 3 shot on a helo, and I'll come back to it later. I'm just gonna let him flow more this way. And we'll kill him later. I think we do end up killing his buddy later. So instead of waiting for the impact of the AMRAM and then diving in on him with a Sidewinder or another AMRAM, I just say, all right, I killed your wingman. You can come on out east if you want. But I was seeing SA6 spikes and SA3s, and I had no idea how close they were. So I didn't want to dive on the C-130 that was landing. And there's also like another C-130, so I just said, all right, it's too safe. It has too much air defense.
I think that was probably a smart idea, to be honest.
I was kind of worried. I didn't want to AMRAM even the helo that I shot at. I was just like sweating, like, come on, Pitbull, before. Here it was. I was like sweating, like, come on, Pitbull, I want to turn away. I don't know where the SA6 is. I was seeing an SA6, but only see it on here in the Acme, so it was much farther away, I guess, than I thought. Anyway, there are a few more helo shots, or I'll get to the bombing here after the helo stuff. Okay, so we do down another H-64, and then we're on to the next one. So, not much helo. Basically, it's a turkey shoot. Exactly what we thought it was going to be in the briefing. It was a complete turkey shoot. All right, anyone that did bombing wanna do the brief or just kind of go over what was going on?
Okay, I think you were the only flight lead that was doing bombing, so you might be the best person for reins on that one.
I'm back as well. I could do.
Oh, there you go.
The ACMR.
Wait one.
Phew.
I can tell you from the flight though, I was getting
Both.
frustrated.
Drop boxes, and then
There's the first link there for you.
Okay, I see 3 links. Which one do I need here?
You need the 2 ACMI links in my comment, the first 2 Dropbox links, and then you see my IP thing.
Oh, right, I see what you did. Yeah, fair enough.
There's 2 links. I got you.
Yep.
Give me a second.
Yeah, Balky just copy pasted the whole area. That'll do.
All right, Axe. Kind of see from your point of view what was going on.
Well, I locked in on the first target that we did the first pass, but I didn't want to drop not knowing what you guys were dropping on. And then I couldn't lock up on them again. I have problems getting my radar going back to the steer point. And then I started searching around. I seen your guys' bomb drops. I seen the smoke, and I think this is when I go north and hit the column. And then I couldn't lock up on anything. And I was just getting frustrated. So when my fuel's running low and you guys were all Dakota, I just saw the town, said screw it, I'm dropping them so we could run back.
That'll do.
All right. So a few things could have happened. You could have had the radar and snowplow. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah. See, here's where I go north, and this is when I told you I see a column up here, and then this is where I dropped here, and I turn around to relock on it, and then I couldn't find it again. I'm not really used to the.
Oh, that lag.
Wow.
Having troubles clicking on you. Okay.
Yeah. I was having troubles with audio, and everybody kept stepping on you when you were trying to give me instructions. I was just like, oh man.
But you got 2 good kills here. So
Yeah, it looks like Axe, you're just kind of picking on bits and pieces here and there, and that's perfectly adequate because you've got LJ dams, so use them that way. Go tank plinking if that's what you've got the fuel for.
Yeah, well, I mean, he got the kills, so that's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
What you need to practice access, just like the situational awareness when you were saying, look, there's targets at steer point 5, and I'm describing a column there at the very beginning. I was explaining to you, oh, there's a column that we could see on the FCR while we're flying towards it at the very beginning. Hold on. Can I?
yeah, take control.
I think the major thing I need to do is turn off the UFH radio because every channel I switched to, someone was talking on, and I couldn't hear you, and I was getting real frustrated with that.
Wake up.
I gotta
Turn it
find out
down.
I gotta find where you turn it down at.
If you're not the flight lead, turn it to like half volume because you really don't need to be paying that much attention to it.
So okay, here we start. First off, okay, formation wasn't perfect, but that's not a problem. I mean, we can all practice. So we fly in, and at this point, Miro points out there's 2 columns at steer point 5, which is directly here. That this is about our steer point 5, and then we see these 2 columns, and at that point, you should have seen them on the FCR when he told you like go to air to ground. You should see target. And if you didn't, then you need to tell us. Because I said, okay, do you see them on our 12 o'clock? There should be 2 columns. I'm going to attack from the north side, so this end of the column. and I wanted you to attack from the southern side.
No, that's where I started getting confused.
Okay.
So I just need to practice and seeing and getting used to the call of the direction.
Yeah. So what you need to do is, if you're in auto ground mode, then have the FCR on your left and the TGP on your right. And if you slew in that direction, and like you locked something up in that column, and you see the column, you should see on your TGP there's a little arrow which points to the north, and then you can reference which way is north in relation to the column you're attacking.
Oh, that's helpful. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, the
That's
TGP
how
will
we.
snap to your radar lock, which is super handy.
Yep. And then sometimes you just need to switch between your HST and your TGP, back and forth. If someone tells you, oh, there's targets next to steer point 5 to the south of it, then you can see on your HSD where you've put your FCR, where your radar is looking. You see this white cross which moves if you slew it around. And then you can reference the location roughly between your steer point and what you see on your HSD and on your FCR. And then you can sort of look into the general direction, and you see some targets, and then you switch over to the TGP, and you can refine that location and see, oh yeah, that's tanks. Or, well, that's a town. I must have not found the right stuff. And also on the HSD, blue crosses are mark points that have been sent to you, and they start from steer point 71 up to 79. Okay, well, that's just like a little instruction. Yeah, we dropped some bombs. We got some kills. I think at this point there's Neuro attacking the targets down here, which were moving, so they didn't get as many kills because those were our main targets at the very beginning. And yeah, I just wrecked the column. At which point I had one bomb left and I wanted to drop it, but my TGP locked onto one of the other GBUs that I just dropped. So I was like, what the fuck am I seeing on my TGP? And I didn't pickle because, well, I would have bombed my bomb.
Hey, wake up.
It's just like, BMS, please. Yeah, so, branding, it's up to you.
Hey, wake up.
All right, so you can see this is where we're having our technical problems here because I'm so far behind my flight. This is basically when I jipped in. Interestingly, the flight paths were weird because you guys were attacking things the same spot we were, but this was at our steer point 5. So it seems like the flight paths were overlapped. I don't think it's any of our fault. I think the flight paths were just overlapped a little bit because we're all kind of attacking the same columns, but these are all in our steer points. So that's something to keep in mind for future flights. We might want to spread the steer points out a little bit.
Which were your targets, to be honest? Which column were you guys attacking? Can you mark it on the map?
How do you do the laser pointer?
Hold shift.
wake up.
Left click.
Shift left click is like.
We were
mark it.
attacking this.
Okay, that was our steer point 6.
Yeah, it was our steer point 5. Or darn near it, less than 5 miles from our steer point 5.
Copy.
So, anyways, I don't think it's a big deal. We got plenty of kills either way, but just something to keep in mind. We did end up, because we were actually saying it to ourselves on the radio, like, that seems to be in our zone of attack, but we see bombs, which we now know are from you guys, actually hitting them. So, luckily, I don't think there was a lot of cross dropping, because we saw your bombs hit and then we retargeted. So I don't think there was a lot of cross dropping happening, but it was probably inefficient only in that we could have been hitting these over here instead. Which, I think it's just an SA issue and then our flight paths being kind of close together.
Yeah, I saw you guys in 3D, looking around. I saw some other flight.
So I am hitting these over here. You can see I've switched now to hitting these over here because I saw you guys hitting these.
I thought you were already RTB when you were flying so close to us. Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite cluttered airspace.
And I think another problem is I was just now getting back in communication with everyone and starting to get my flight kind of back organized, because when I came back in, the AI had screwed everything. So I was super task saturated, trying to get my laser codes set back up and my bombs back in the configuration I wanted them in and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, we never did see you on Data Link after that.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, because I definitely had all the other flights in my data link, and I checked with my flight probably 3 or 4 times. Like, okay, you guys, you sure you have all the other flights in data link? Yeah, we've got them in data link. So I don't know if it was just a JIP issue that happens sometimes.
You know what I could have done as package lead is that every AI feed, you guys would be going clockwise patterns.
Yep.
Everybody stay clockwise. No one go counterclockwise, and that'll probably stop what could have been an accident with how cluttered the airspace was.
There was definitely an almost accident in here. I'll see if I can find it. Somebody almost ran into me. If I hadn't been paying attention, it would have been probably not great.
That's actually when you call like right-handed racetrack over the targets, or left-handed, whatever you want to do, and then you have a circling.
All right, so we started hitting these down here. Again, just trying to be away from where you guys were.
Is
So
it
the
just
fun.
is the stream still up?
Oh, I don't know.
It should be if you check the link. I'll check it on my end.
So the really fun thing about these GBU-54s, I really enjoy these, by the way. They're a fun weapon to use. Is that if the thing isn't moving, you can do what I just did right there and just throw 3 at 3 separate spots, and they'll hit.
Yeah, the link's working, guys, mate. It is lagged because of the fact that I'm recording a stream of a stream.
Okay,
So I think
I'm
this
caught
is
up here.
it right here. I think this is where me
Oh,
and
man.
Nero almost plow into each other. Did I skip past it?
Yeah. Looks like you just made a right-hand turn. Okay. Here, back it up and play.
Where the hell's play? Oh, there it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
too fast.
right there.
Just spacebar.
Come on, freaking.
I slowed down a bit, so it's at 16 times. So put it down to like the 1 times.
I think this is past it. No, this is where I dropped the 3 GBUs.
Let's slow down.
It was Axe. That's what it was right there. See, me and Axe almost run into each other right there.
I knew it was me. Damn it. Sorry.
And if I hadn't been paying attention, we definitely would have hit each other because we were right at the same flight level. It
Go
happens.
back to your HUD. I just want to see.
Yeah, I
Like
was
from your
just
point of view.
thinking today that we never had a mid-air in all the missions I flew with the UAF. There was never a mid-air collision,
Shit, I think this is after.
and then you guys
Is it
just
after?
have to prove me wrong.
No, it was Nero. I almost see me do that really sharp right turn right there. Yeah, that was me avoiding Nero. It happens. It's one of those things that that's why we always say, as much as it's tempting to fly off your instruments, like flying head up is like super important.
There's X coming. Oh no. What?
I don't think Axe and I got that close together, honestly.
It's way before this when the
Yeah.
thing
Anyways,
happened.
so it was either Nero or Axe almost hit each other, but we didn't. So, and at this point, I've got my flight just weapons free. Just drop your bombs. I drop a couple here that miss because the laser settings were all off from the AI screwing with stuff. I think this one misses.
Is it really
that one hit?
really jittery for you guys?
Yeah, it is a little
Yep.
bit jittery.
Sometimes happens when you're doing ×8.
Okay, so you have to be low time for it not to be jittery.
It depends on how much stuff's going on.
There we go. Okay. Because I try not to skip with holding on the mouse and moving it. I try to hit the play button because I know it's really skippy.
Yeah, it is. So at this point, we're almost.
Ooh,
Jeez, Axe.
it looks close, but it's actually far away.
I know, it's actually pretty far
Because
away.
you could tell from the poles on the ground.
And he's
the
actually
distance.
a totally different flight level than me, so. I'm at like 29,000 feet right here. So one thing I would say is, I know you mentioned it earlier, Gussie, but in a situation like this where it's super target rich and your steer points are a good guide, but they're not necessarily where everything is going to be, learning to use snowplow mode is super handy.
Yeah. And it's very simple. You just switch the snowplow, and then you TMS up.
Yeah, and that ground stabilizes it. And then if you ever want to reset the center, just unground stabilize it and reground stabilize it, and it'll reset the center of the. And this is us rejoining. I think we're all Winchester at this point. If I'm not mistaken, only Avenger 3 at this point still had bombs. I don't know who Avenger 3 was, though.
That would be me.
Yeah, over here. Here you go. At this point, we just went air to air and started looking for. So I'm gonna call us out here on something that we did do that we shouldn't have, that Gussie pointed out earlier, but just in the name of being fair, you'll notice that Gazman and I do a really dumb thing here in a second.
Uh-oh.
I want you to watch how low we get chasing these AH-64s. Yeah, that is way too close to the ground. I'm maybe 1,000 feet off the ground at this point, chasing these AH-64s. And you'll
You gotta
notice.
look around for battalions that are near you, yeah.
And there were none. I mean, we looked. We knew it was safe, but it's still dumb. We shouldn't have been this low. And you'll notice, more importantly, what comes in right behind me from Gazman.
Is that a Fox 3?
It is a Fox 3. There it is, right there.
This.
And the thing is, he and I were actually in communication. He knew where I was when he fired that Fox 3.
Hey, wake up.
But these are the kind of things that if you're not in communication and you're not being very careful, that Fox 3 could have easily mad dogged on me.
Yeah, you could break lock with a airgun, looking down on healers. It breaks the lock easily.
So that thing could have easily mad dogged on me. So, not the worst mistakes in the world. We were both fine, but this was not our finest moment right here, where we're this low to the ground. Again, there's no battalions, and we knew there were no battalions, but the hard deck was 18,000 feet or 17,000 feet, and we broke it pretty hard, getting a little target fixed on these H-64s. And if he had lost radar lock on that AIM-120, it could have very easily mad dogged on me. So, just keep those things in mind. I know as many hours as I've got in Falcon, I know how easy it is to get target fixated, and that's what happened right there. We both got target fixated on those AH-64s, and target fixation, I would say, is probably the #1 killer in flight simming. So, hand slap to me on that one. But let's see, who was leading Avenger 3?
Derek.
Oh, you're not in here. Okay. Well, here, I'll find you.
What do you mean I'm not in here? I'm right here.
He's watching.
I mean, you're not. Oh, yes, you are. Oh, my bad. Can somebody make him instructor?
So where the hell are we?
Sinai. God, we have so much air up.
Yep.
I think it's fair to say we've got air superiority.
That's one way of putting it. Touchdown here. Here we are.
How the tides have turned.
Wake up.
So we take off. We're doing pretty fine. Domestos has to join us after having to disconnect and reconnect for his joystick. We turn in on our steer point 5 and we just see this whole shit right here, which is amazing. There's got to be a hilarious number of tanks just stacked on top of each other. You'd look through, you would easily see on narrow beam 4 times, like 4 or 5 tanks on the same screen. you'd see
Jeez.
tanks 3, 4, like tread to tread. Like if you were to drop on them, you would hit all of them at the same time.
Oh wow.
So we roll in, we just start going to town on these guys. Comms were a little bit messed up because people were talking over people all the time on uniform, and we were having a little bit of trouble with the second element because they were talking to each other, trying to explain how things were supposed to be rather than just quick responses back and forth. So we sent half the element to sort of do like a mini cap, while the first element just went to town on the tanks, and then we would swap off once we went Dakota on that. This is pretty much what we do the whole time. The original intention was to go heli hunting after this, but I dropped out and Scope decided to go home after we finished working over this column. So yeah, not a whole heck of a lot to go over for us. We stayed high for the whole time, and there was a little bit of traffic going on over our area, but no real mid-airs, nothing too close. So yeah, pretty straightforward, pretty simple.
Cool. All right. I was gonna say next time we definitely have to do a racetrack all in the same direction, and not just the flights, but like the entire package possibly. So Fluky isn't here.
I'll take the reins for Hornet.
All right.
I'm in the being that I'm in the group anyway on the other thing. So if you want to pass me the instructorship, I'll do so. Okay, I've got the con. Let me roll this back here for a second. Alright, so we don't see the takeoff. We had a problem where flight lead exploded spontaneously 30 seconds after takeoff, and our number 4 had problems on the ground and exploded when he tried to log off and log back in again, not realizing that can cause sometimes problems. I had a bit of a delay getting the rejoin on him because obviously I had to try and launch on the catapult a little late after I got clear of all that crap, but we regrouped, fenced in. We tried to obviously talk to you guys on comms, but obviously distance was a factor. We got there eventually though. Armed everything up. I couldn't find very much with the targeting pod, but ground motion tracking on the FCR worked off charm. Didn't find anything over steer 6, so we just worked on steer 5. Noticed this column working itself eastwards, and just immediately just dropped a slew of JSOs on it. So Eagle there in the 1-2, he drops a stick of 4 to get things going. Wonderful effect on target. I've got great footage of that. He decides to hang back for a few moments, and then I go in for mine, and we figure that we'll probably just work alternates, just plug in each other's gaps, figuring out where all the gaps in the columns are from that onwards. I really tested JSO's limit to hard turn a few times.
Can't make it.
Yeah. I had a real bear of a time trying to get them to work with the targeting pod. In the end, I just gave up and just stuck with the FCR.
Are we gonna hit the water?
Nope.
Ooh, that was
the JSOs, the guy who'd done the programming for the JSOs was really earning his pay. I try to get 2 off, realize I'm getting real low, so I break that one off, and yeah. But the end result from dropping them this close is that we don't have to worry about attack azimuths as such. We just work them along the column, and even if they're just slightly short or just slightly long from the targeting point, they still get good effect on the clusters. In the end, no air defenses left. I would say 2 platoons at most of tanks in the end by the time we're done working over targets. We tried to make up for the shortfall in JSOs with the remaining ones. Eagle launches off what's left. We assess the situation and make the call to do a guns pass to try and see if we can stop them advancing further on this column here to the right, the left of image.
Yeah. So you knew that was friendlies to the left coming up.
We knew that there was a friendly column. I couldn't honestly remember if they had tanks or if they were just a bunch of Humvees, and we figured we would try to get them to turn back. We basically figured if we don't have 4 Hornets, we're going to have to just expend all of our ordnance in the end, Eagle is actually credited with two damaged soft-skinned vehicles. Yeah, he said that himself later on. He's like, I should have got out a little further. But he recognised the situation and got out.
I'm surprised he didn't rip the wings off of his Hornet trying to pull out of that.
Oh my goodness, I'd like to
Yeah.
see that in the HUD actually.
Yeah, I'll see if I can do that for you.
His dive here. It looked like a 60-degree, or maybe even like 80-degree dive. Oh, that was really steep. Nope, wrong.
The big X.
I like the
What
X.
are you doing?
The thing is it's not really being very helpful right now, is it? Because you're not seeing very much.
What the hell?
That's from the JSO's point of view. Just a minute, I need to change the camera. There we go. Fast forward on to.
I went. Okay, there it goes. Slow down.
Gotta attack to the weak spot. I mean, the top armor is the weak
Slow down.
spot.
Slow down. Okay. There we go.
He's attacking paladins.
When is he gonna hit?
They're not paladins.
M106?
M1A1s.
No, M106.
Oh, those are M106s, yes.
Going for a 106.
It's the one in the rear. It looks like.
It's M106 as well. 800.
Oh, damn.
One Mach
Jesus.
1.2, 1.05.
Oh, here come the G's.
He's still not doing. He's not
5.5 Gs.
Was he in Cas 2, Cas 3 or something?
No, we would have been in Cat. We were Cat 1 by this time because we had nothing on the rail.
14 Gs.
No, that
14.
was angle of attack.
Never mind. 6 Gs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think
he
he'd
put
even hit the
6.
7 max G's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I don't know.
Looks worse than it is.
Did, yeah.
Man, he.
But I will point out
He did kill it. Okay.
he got the kill. Yeah, he's credited with the damage on the. He's credited with 2 guns damaged, and you'll also notice the other effect. What's left of the battalion now starts turning around. Now starts turning around, and this was the effect that we wanted to get. So, respectfully to all involved who wanted to debate the matter, I stand by my decision because the objective was to turn that column around as far as we were concerned.
Well, you saw that they had no more Bradleys, so you knew no more. No
Yep.
more Stingers left.
We assessed the situation using the targeting pod. He was using the targeting pod to scan for threats. We couldn't find anything other than tanks.
Yeah, it's still a good call then. I mean, it was still a danger.
Hey,
We accepted we accepted the danger. We accepted there's always a risk. Anything involving a gun run imposes risk. But if we're 2 planes short in the flight, we got to make up the slack somehow. We didn't even get to steer 6.
Yeah.
Danger
But-
zone.
But the Merkavas, honestly, we lost a few Merkava. You see a few destroyed ones on there.
Yeah.
But they should. It sucks that they're gonna have to fight that other battalion. They're gonna get towed quite a bit.
Well, the bottom line is on the next mission, if we want to rerun another AI, it's very simple for us to frag another set of Hornets or some other ship to take on this next column.
Yeah, it would be.
You know, it's a simple matter for us on the next mission to frag something to take out that column. But the bottom line is now this column here is non-effective,
Yeah, they're running.
and that's bought this column here time to regroup, reorg, and get resupplied or get some reinforcements at least. And in my mind's eye, for close air support, air interdiction, that's us done our job.
Yeah.
At this point, I think I've made one pass with the guns and I was Winchester. So at that point in time, all I'm doing is at this point I'm in the perch. I'm literally just watching for man pads. So he was spotting me, I was spotting him. There was never a point where one of us wasn't watching the other guy's back. So while it may not have been the most safest thing to do, we did it as safely as possible.
And when you put it in the context of the tactical situation with that friendly battalion, they were going to get chewed up, so they're going to turn around.
Yeah. We knew this was on the edge of the flot, so if they're traveling eastwards, then they're going to make contact with something.
Acme hasn't changed my mind. Cowboy bullshit in my book, but hey, we disagree.
We will agree to disagree. in the end, we decided to call it time time off that. We regroup. Hornet makes a fantastic. Eagle makes a fine enough landing. We don't have the rest of the recording for that, unfortunately. I have my own footage that you guys are welcome to review for my landing, but from my point of view, as I was crossing the ramp, my controls became non-responsive. I immediately lagged out and then went 30 feet above the bridge. I suspect at some point in time between gaining control of the plane and it landing, the model probably tail struck. So I decided enough was enough and injected safely near the carrier.
All right.
But yeah, that's pretty much Hornet's flight in a nutshell. So if someone else wants control, it's all theirs.
Actually, just looking at the overhead brakes.
All right. Yeah, let me shift over to those for you.
Yep.
That's the second file, right?
Okay, well, if you've opened both files, you should be able to see it both, because I did that.
I didn't know you could open both.
Yep, control click both of them, then hit open.
And then it will string them together, and you will have it as one continuous file, and then you can also save it at that point, and it will be saved as one file.
Interesting.
There's also a merge menu, which does the same.
I tried using the merge and it crashed on me, so I'm not sure.
Yeah. Alright, I'm shifting tapes to the other one now as well. Is anyone else keeping up with that? So this is tape number 2.
Okay, apparently if you the moment you opened number 2, it switched to the timestamp for me on when my tape 2 starts.
There you go.
In a combined view.
Yep.
Oh well, there you go. So if it's obviously able to find the rest of the file itself, then it's done it for you. So you guys are all tracking my moves. It's not complaining that you're looking at the wrong tape. All right. I'll just very broadly, I'll start with Dark Fiber's match, and I'll just use that as a way of reviewing the overhead brakes, because you're going to see everyone doing that at least. So it's over Ramon, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Little northwest of Ramon.
Okay.
Oh, so our flight was the first to land. Nice. At that point, I thought everyone else had already landed, and then we are in this turn, and we see the next flight come in. And if you look at a vertical separation at that point, first of all, you can nicely see the track that you have to fly, and then you see the separation, and it just works so perfectly.
Yeah, I mean that's good separation between the flights.
Yep. Dark Fiber and I came in exactly the same pattern. We came in left downwind and then turned into the base and then entered initial at about the same height.
That's pretty much how you want the overhead brake to go there. The guys on final are following the glide slope. The guys above that are getting set up to land on the glide slope.
Yeah, and what we have to remember is always have like run in on 300 knots, 3k feet.
Domestos.
What is he locking up?
Oh, he
Oh,
made it.
that certainly is one way to get on the pattern.
It's like almost stalled.
You basically sidestepped into the pattern.
Excuse me.
I did it in a second, but I'll explain why I did it. I had a reasoning for me doing it, because you'll notice here in a second. So if you look at me, I'm in the pattern here. I'm hitting the perch. I'm about to turn for the perch. Any second now. I went wide because I saw Axe, and I didn't want to get in front of Axe.
Yeah.
But who's this up here? Who's Avenger 3-2?
Avenger 3-2.
Scope.
Fired.
Scope. You're fired.
What's this?
Oh my god. I can see it already.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I heard your radio call saying, "Who the heck is that?"
I'm not sure
So
how
you
he
can see
planned
me
to
side
land.
slipping at this point because I'm more paying attention to him than I am to my.
That's the point in time where if you're on final, you're going for the right-hand runway now.
Well, no, I'm to the left. It's fine. I get back on target. But yeah, I was like, who is
He
this?
cut in line
Yeah.
from the wrong direction. And he waves off.
You
Yes,
probably
yes.
realize it's maybe not a good idea.
Well, because I yelled right here. I started admonishing whoever it was on uniform as I'm trying to get myself back in line to land. I'm like, yo, who is this jackrabbit here that did this? Like, why did you do that? And then I land super long, but it's fine.
What is Falcon 3-2 like inverted over there? You see that? Oh,
Falcon.
crazy.
Who? Oh, Falcon 4-2. That'll be an AI.
I think they're like a painting over there.
Yeah. Over here.
I was flying in and I saw some aircraft just kind of floating in the air. And I commented on it, but then I didn't
Oh,
really know.
I don't have any more tape.
Oh.
Send
Damn
me
it.
the tape.
Anyway, we come in for a landing. We do ours at the very end for Gypsy 3. And while I'm landing, number 2, Nighthawk, is landing. He's gonna land on the other runway. And lo and behold, another aircraft was coming right for him.
Oh, of course.
The other runway. And I had to scream like, "Holy shit! Wave off! There's someone coming right
User
for
joined
you."
your channel.
I'm back.
Hello,
Oh.
back. This is Patrick.
I figure
Hey, bulky.
Yeah, and then I proceed to stuff his plane full of stairs before coming back and landing.
Did you guys see anything embarrassing about me yet?
All
What's
kinds.
your
We just
call
spent the
sign?
past 45 minutes fucking you over,
Deadman,
man.
BMF?
Wait, Deadman.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we saw
Yeah,
something
what
pretty
did you
embarrassing.
see?
I think. Yeah. Can I take control? Actually, I don't have the first. Here, I'll go back to the first video. All right.
Yeah, just
Shit, let me
like
get back on the
select
stream.
both.
Okay.
ACMIs
What
in
the-
the.
What are you doing, Bucky?
Dark and me have been doing this the entire time. He's like, because we don't stick on like the smash on the target smash, and we get faster, slower, faster, slower.
Alright, I'm on
And
the
every
stream, so I'm
time
ready.
Dark or I have to do a loop because like a roll because we're too fast. And I see him doing it like 2 or 3 times, and I'm like, oh, I can do this as well.
Okay. So what do I have to do to open both of them? Because I merged
So
them, but it
click-
said it's the wrong file.
Click File. Click
Okay.
Open. Now Control click Part 1, Control click Part 2, and then just click Open.
I did that, and I'm doing it.
Look
I'll
at
do it
this.
again here, and it says it's not the correct file.
Aerial ballet going on
You
here.
need to select part 1 first, like with the first click, and part 2 with the second click, so that. No, disregard. Select part 2 first, and then part 1
There you go.
in the open menu.
Some data is missing. Did you load the right file? Oh, I think.
It says that, but it's fine actually.
Okay.
Works
All
well.
right. DMF. Let's see
Yeah.
here. Let's see the mistake made.
On
Okay.
landing?
Here. You'll see in like 15 seconds whenever it catches up. 864, 29 miles off the nose, and you Fox 3. Now, see, they're not really a threat. And in fact, you don't even have the energy or the altitude for the missile to make it. This is I have no words.
Yep.
So you fire the missile outside of the missile's range, thus possibly making a pit bull on a friendly, which was Domestos. And let's go and fast forward. Luckily, the missile didn't have enough energy to pit bull and possibly kill Domestos, but it could have. If you were higher and a higher speed, higher altitude and speed, it could have pit bulled. It would have flown right into Domestos there. And then you Fox 3 again. So basically, with Fox 3s, you want to be careful. You don't want to fire them in the direction of friendlies ever, pretty much ever. You want to fire them. Let's think of yourself as there's like a 90-degree cone in front of you. You don't want any friendlies in front of that cone and firing an AMRAAM unless there's an extreme circumstance like here again. Could have killed him.
Well, that one was really close, actually.
That could have pitbulled right on him.
Scroll
That
back
was
and
scary
look at the
close.
separation. Can you?
I
can you
can't.
scroll down a
I
bit?
can't even see because I'm watching the stream and.
I'm trying to display it and I'm failing miserably.
All right.
I'm trying to merge the two files now. See what it does.
Pitbull. Oh God. Bye bye.
Oh Jesus.
And there goes Eagle, and he explodes.
I mean,
So-
you can look how far the missile
Yep.
and the 18 are separated. It's probably like a mile or so or less.
That view just crashed on me.
That's so fucking
That's so close.
So be careful firing A120s in the direction of friendlies. Be careful. Basically, they can pitbull, and if you have any friendlies in front of you, they will pitbull on the friendly. Be careful if someone commits on a bandit in front of you, and you fire behind them, basically through them to hit the target. It very well could pitbull and kill them. Also, third thing, try not to fire AMRAAMs on helos, where you could simply just nose down and fire a sidewinder, unless they're in like a big like kind of like a battalion with SHORAD, and then you might want to look at foxering it. But that's about it.
I'm pretty sure I was instructed to Fox 3 every target I engaged.
By Gunner.
By who?
Mm-hmm. He's
So,
just like,
so Gunner told
put
you
a
to Fox 3
put a
outside
Fox
the range.
3 on him. So I was like, shit, I'm gonna put a Fox 3 on him.
So Gunner said, you said, hey, I have a
No, I
H-64
fucked up
30
with the
miles
range.
out.
I fucked up with the range. So
I mean, the only thing I would say is I mean, I know this isn't for real, but we always say we're all officers here, and what we mean by that is that, like, yeah, your flight lead can tell you to do something, but you're still in control of the aircraft. So if one of those AIM-120s had hit a friendly, we wouldn't be blaming Gunner.
Yeah.
True.
You would have been on the wall of shame 100%. And the wall of shame is really shameful. Okay. That's about it, BMS.
And by the way,
Alrighty.
when they mad dog is a lot of times what will happen is when you lose radar lock, which can happen a lot on the AH-64s because they're really close to the ground, and your radar gets confused by ground clutter and loses the lock. When that happens, that's when the missile starts trying to find its own target. That's what we call mad dog.
And it doesn't care as long as it gets a skin return on something.
Hey guys, ready to see this UFO appear? Cue the like.
I think it's
Cue
before
the
that.
music.
Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, it's coming.
No.
It's coming.
It's
It's
before
coming.
that.
Oh God.
Pop.
He's like.
What the hell?
Oh God.
That's some
UFO.
that's some highly classified shit there, Legs.
What the?
What is going on over here?
Is there something you want to tell us?
That'd be some lag there, T-Rex. That'd be some serious lag.
Call me
And he
Tracer.
just appears.
Deja vu.
Deja vu.
Zoom.
Is that T-Rex?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So, like I said, a couple times I picked T-Rex up on radar at like 137,000 feet, moving Mach 20. Or not on radar, but on data.
I'm loving the stats here for my telemetry page while I look at him.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they don't even bother.
Yeah, the indicator
I just
speed
saw
isn't even
90
coming up.
Gs.
It's just
Yeah.
not bothering.
Like no, I'm staring at the telemetry page. Like if you call up the telemetry page for his system,
Alright.
like Mac, it goes from 0 to like 2.25, 3.
Pause it. Where's he at now? We're.
He
He'll appear
disappeared
back.
again. His cloaking device re-engaged.
Oh, I gotta wait for this cloaking device to. There we go. No, oh! I caught him between cloaking devices. He's
Oh, now there's two of him. He's split. There's two of him.
Oh
See,
my
now he's
god.
yelling.
It's a jamming contact, like.
He's ethereal. He has split his
He's
soul.
ethereal in ethereal.
Is there like a free cam option? Free cam. Here we go. Hello, Avenger 1. This is Avenger 1. How did this happen?
This is what's known as the quantum state of T-Rack. He is both there and not there.
He's both in a falling leaf right here and not in a falling leaf right here.
Did he disappears? Where to? Where to will he go?
Schrodinger looked in the box. He had to.
Oh,
They see him here, they see him there. No, that's Axe.
Axe is like, I want to be like you, senpai. Let's see if we can find. Oh, is that him? Oh, there goes.
There he
oh,
is.
it's not him.
It's like, where's Waldo? Nope, not there.
It's like
Where
the
is he?
Phoenix experiment.
Philadelphia experiment gone wild.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
He's gone.
He's upside down.
Yeah, that close to the ground and upside down? Yeah, you're always going to be gone.
Where did he go? I'm afraid. Oh. Oh. He has stealth missiles, stealth bombs now. Where did he go? There he is. Spotted him.
She's come down from heaven. Oh my god, I can't even track that.
Oh, there goes. Oh. He started to do a slip move, a slip teleport. But now he's falling for. Oh. Found him. He's not leaving now. Maybe his teleport device turned off. Alright guys, I think he's back for good now.
Tell us what it was like to journey to another dimension.
Oh.
I saw beams, lots of beams.
Memes? Huh?
Beams.
So, no, memes. I thought it just sounds just like the UO4 board.
-18 Gs.
Jeez. You didn't see very much in negative 18 apart from the red in your eyes.
If he had eyes left after pulling negative 33 degrees AOA.
45.
Negative 18 Gs would probably make your seatbelt mincier.
60.
60 degrees AOA.
66. I was kind of I wanted to see if he'd hit 70 there.
Poof, poof.
Thing is, look how small we are as models down there. Like, what is his final altitude there?
What? How did he get down here?
Dragging across the ground and shit.
He's like, I'm afraid.
T-Rack, you're the reason why we have such a huge Acme file, because BMS has to find you all over fucking Israel. Like, we have to render 16 instances of T-Rack's plane.
Alright, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. We're gonna see another, oh my god. Oh, so maybe that's how it happened. I thought that's what it was. This isn't an Acme bug right here. These guys are actually floating like this in game. While we're heading in, I look to the right and I say, number 2, do you see Anahog? You remember this, right? Like, do you see these guys like floating to the right?
Yeah, I saw them.
I got blue text pauses twice as we were coming into the airbase, so I'm wondering if that didn't screw some things up.
Well, I got blue text on landing, which didn't end well for me, so yeah.
It happened twice as we were coming in to the airbase. I got paused. Look at Dark Fiber doing Thunderbird shit over there. That's Nighthawk.
Nighthawk.
Well, guys, I'm going to cut the stream short because we're just kind of treading the same ground over and over again. But I will